Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. You're in Sikkim?
Yeah,
What language do they speak there?
mainly them people from Nepal. So they
Okay.
speak Nepali, and there's a lot of people who follow Buddhism. So they say that they have their own language. I don't know really what really they speak, but
But I mean, they follow Hindi or you talk in English?
no, they understand Hindi very well.
Mm.
But when they talk among each other, then they speak in their this Nepalese language.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Dada's words are spreading to Sikkim, so that's nice.
That was people from Gujarat, they are here. No, that's it. So, just a moment, huh? Okay. Please, Sachidanand, Dr.
Jai
Lalitabel,
Sachidanand. Yes.
please follow three mantras.
Okay.
Namo Vitragay.
Namo Vitra Gai.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Savapava Pranasano.
Savapavapanasano.
Mangalanam cha Sarvesim.
Mangalanam cha Savesim.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Any question, anything you want to share?
Yeah, I have a question. Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I will share one. video came. So here it says that Agra Matra poison che means this insistence.
One minute.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Insistence is poison. So that is the topic here. And there is some sentences.
Okay, go ahead now.
Yeah. So insistence is poison is the topic of this satsang. So I did.
What is the topic?
Agra Matra poison che insistence is poison. So you have to settle it. You have to let it come out. This is the topic. So here I didn't understand. So I'll to bring in context. I will.
Which place exactly?
Sorry. It came on YouTube.
Where exactly?
YouTube, in YouTube. This YouTube channel, you know. So
here. Okay, let us read. પ્રશ્નકર્તા આ હવે શનિનો ગ્રહ છે. હઠાગ્રહ means excessive insistence, unabated insistence. That is શનિનો ગ્રહ. આ હવે શનિનો ગ્રહ છે. આટલા આ કરોડો માણસો હવે ક્યાં એક જ માણસને નડવા આવે? દાદાશ્રી, જેવું બ્રહ્માંડમાં ગ્રહો છે એવા મહી ગ્રહો છે. મહીએ એ શનિનો જ ગ્રહ કહેવાય છે, પણ એનું લક્ષણ આપણને ખબર પડે. હઠાગ્રહ કરે એટલે આપણે જાણીએ કે એ શનિના ગ્રહની અસર થઈ. લક્ષણો પરથી ખબર પડે કયો ગ્રહ અસર કરે છે. સમજાયું ને? ઓકે, what next? What exactly you want to ask in this?
Yeah, no, this I understood. Just as a background I put. So you can summarize, then I will ask the question next.
Okay, the idea is, in any situation, if you have a very hard-headed insistence that no, you have to do it somehow or the other, I can't allow you not to do and all that. So that is related with the Shani Graha. Okay?
Okay.
And it is said that when someone gets into this level of insistence, then it ends up in a big clash, difference, fight, war, whatnot.
Okay.
Because the other person can take in any form and he can react in any way. Okay, go ahead. Now.
So this next two sentences I didn't understand. Yes.
Huh?
તમે
મજૂરોને વધારે ચડાવો તો મહીથી હઠાગ્રહે ચડાવો. તો શનિ નડતો હોય તો મજૂરો માર ખાય છે વટે. સમજ પડી ને? એટલે પ્રમાણમાં શોભે બધું. હઠાગ્રહ ઉપર ના જવું જોઈએ, એનો નિકાલ કરવો જોઈએ. જગતનો સ્વભાવ શું? ગા. ખરું ખોટું બધું નિકાલી જ બાબત છે. નિકાલ કરવો જોઈએ, પણ નિકાલ ન થાય તો આપણે કરવું. Just the one previous, can you get that? The one previous?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing. This was previous or the next one?
This is the previous.
Hello?
One. Yeah, this is the first starting.
This was the one.
Yeah. So this is the one I want to, you know. And
so normally what happens, people instigate the workers, especially who are working in the farming and other places also. So you are instigating the person to ask for more or revolt, basically. Then, you know what Dada is telling here, then this is Shani Graha. And if that thing happens, then it can create a lot of problem. So everything should be in its limits. When someone crosses its limits, then it has its negative effects. So here he has said, when such a thing arises, then we must try to handle it amicably and settle the matter.
So the workers, why they are instigating, in what context? I don't understand.
So it is possible that there are people who instigate these workers to fight for their rights or ask for more wages.
Okay. That's good.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is common issue and common problem with those people who are hiring workers for their farming work. Or otherwise also, let's say someone working in a company and they are instigating the worker to ask for more, give more money in their extra time, or when they are asked to sit late, overtime and all that. Do you understand?
So that is a good thing or a bad thing?
Huh?
That is a good thing or a bad thing that they will ask their...
What is it?
Is it a good thing or a bad thing that they ask for their rights?
It is not the question, but the way it is put forward, that if you don't do this, we will stop working, we will go on strike and all that stuff. Ask for more is not bad, but the method they follow is extreme hard-headed insistence. So it's like you are somehow forcing the employer to fulfill their demand.
So he says that in normality, everything should be normal.
Correct, everything. So you ask for your demand and keep working, but then they find such methods also, follow these methods also, wherein they stop working and they go on strike. And that is going to affect the production also.
Yes. Okay.
Basically, the idea over here is when it comes to amicable settlement, then not looking at good, bad, or whatever, you must focus on amicable settlement because you want to relieve yourself from this account or this burden. You understand?
Yes, I understood. Okay. Yeah, so this is clear. And another thing which I heard you saying that,
Sorry. I can't hear. Come again.
I heard you in Satsangs, that you said that Devi Devta have rules, and we should...
Devi Devta has what?
They have rules, they have rules.
Correct.
Yeah, so so I would like to know that the rules our aim is that we follow the rules. So the thing is that we are not aware of the rules also, and
so if you go to any Panditji and you say, I want to do Mataji Anushthan, then they will tell you what you have to do. And very commonly, let's say someone who wants to please Lakshmi ji, that is goddess of wealth, then you must not break any of the rules. What is that rule? Never criticize anybody. Number 2, never steal or even have feeling to steal. Do you understand?
Yeah. So the Devi Devtas, I want to know that, that how means self-analysis, that we are following the rules or not following, different.
Very, very, very nice. We all know very well what right we do and what wrong we do. Because we are in such a society, many of the things we are aware. But certain things, yes, definitely we are not aware. So, first of all these good qualities are in the form of divinity within our self, our body. That is our body self. First thing. Did you understand?
Yes.
Life. To be a celibate. someone who is married will follow one wife rule. Someone who is not married should follow 100% celibacy. Then don't hurt anybody. Don't scold anyone. Then all these qualities in relation to the qualities, they have defined the goddess. Like if it is celibacy, then it is Amba Mataji or it is Bauchara Mataji. If it is in relation to money, wealth, then it is Lakshmi ji. If it is in relation to speech, it is not to hurt anyone. Don't say too much. Be truthful. Then it is Saraswati Mataji. You understand?
What about the health?
If someone is not straightforward,
what the health?
He always deals things in a crooked way. Then it is said, you are breaking the law of Bhadrakali Mataji. So Bhadrikta, Sararta, straightforwardness, openness, those qualities, when they open within you, then it is said then that goddess, that is Bhadrakali Mataji, is pleased and it has awakened within you.
So the diseases we encounter is a result of breaking of the rules.
I didn't get, what is it?
The diseases we encounter in ourselves and others are a result of breaking of rules.
I didn't get.
The diseases we encounter. Can you
who encounters?
We encounter or around us we see they are result of breaking of rules. Can you grasp?
Can't get. Hold on. I'm trying to put my headphone so that I can hear properly.
Dr. Lalita, my voice is coming properly?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
No.
He's asking the diseases we encounter, are they from breaking these rules?
Come again.
The diseases, Vyadi that one has.
Okay. 1 minute. I found it. Now, what is it?
The diseases one has. Is it because we broke these rules?
No, diseases are in relation to certain mistakes that are committed. Like it is said, if you hurt too many or kill too many, it's a lot of violence. Like people killing those honeybees, because they are in big number, then you end up suffering on what is called tuberculosis.
Respiratory conditions.
Yes. Okay, doctor.
So means we are not aware of these rules, So can you throw more light on this?
So it is like if you are not aware of the rules, we know the rules, the road rules. So as you come across those suffering, you will realize, you will find out the rules and you will follow the rules. You understand?
Yeah. So like you said about the killing of the bees, so can you give more about the examples?
Example, you have to ask particular one, then only it comes out. Because it is not that I don't prepare myself for this. But if you ask, then it comes inside.
Okay, so like for example, I heard that Dada is saying that about his ear problem, said so about the
Correct. Okay, fine, good. See, it's like it is the reaction when we don't listen to others, which is very common with everyone because you don't want to listen. You don't like anybody telling you anything. So many a times we ignore, we don't listen, we don't respond. And that is why it is a natural punishment which we get that our hearing problems reduces.
Okay. And about that eyesight also, Dadaji said little. Can you throw more light on that?
Correct. Same way. If eyes are overused or misused, then that is how it will reflect on your eyesight also. Certain things, certain diseases also cause eyesight problem. Like if you're diabetic, then, and if you ignore that, and although you are diabetic, you continue eating those stuff unabated, uncontrolled, then in the long run your eyes get affected. You may lose eyesight. You may have glaucoma, right?
So is it? So I read that I heard or read that it is something to do with the drishti dosh. The eyesight is a result of.
That is drishti dosh ends up in suffering. Drishti dosh means to see things from your viewpoint and believing that as correct and living as per that belief. End up committing such a mistake which you end up suffering. Huh?
Vishay Vikar also it has a relationship.
Then that's what in particular area, particular way it is misused, and that is where you get a punishment accordingly.
I heard that I read that it Vishay Vikar also it is related.
That's what I'm telling you in relation to Vishay Vikar. What will happen? You will use your body essence. And that body, when one loses body essence, the first thing his body becomes weak. The luster what he has normally on a normal healthy person is not seen. His intellect weakens. Ultimately, it's a downfall. That's why every religion has a respect and they have honored celibacy one way or the other.
So for us Mahatmas, our aim is moksha. So how this is important for us? What is the
Dada said so very clearly that since you are on the path of liberation and having got realized, you are in search and quest and you are pursuing pure soul experience, and that is bliss. And that bliss is the subtlest experience you can have. But when you are engaged in any five sense, what do you call that? Enjoying and relishing in five sense happiness, then that's how you can't reach the bliss of pure soul.
Yeah, so what our aim should be to focus on the pure self and not on the
not only that, only when it is necessary for bearing children, it is fine, or at least if it is in relation with your wife.
So if we follow the now kalam, so then we are safe on the safe side.
Correct. Eventually, you will become normal.
Okay. Coming to the now kalam, yeah. So one last thing I will ask. Then you and Pulinanandji also came, so he can respond. So regarding to the now kalams, so this is a question which I read, about the speech, that speech by itself cannot be syadvad, so because it speech has a one can express at one time one viewpoint. So but the syadvad means that we are giving there by itself it is not syadvad, because other person maybe seeing maybe accepting other viewpoints, and having cannot understand the one line one speech, the speech, so the other factors which I found, this is my understanding, you can please correct me that and expand on that along with speech other things also are necessary. For example, this in the case of the Tirthankara, which I understood that when Tirthankara giving his sermon, that in that time the Devi Devta also helping others to understand what Tirthankara is saying, in their own way they are helping, So those factors also helping that the other people understand the Tirthankara's words, but like we compare with ourselves that we don't have such factors, or that for those factors are not available right now for us. So there are a lot of misunderstanding. Other people, we are not able to convey. Communication is lacking. So that I understand. So in that we ask for the strength and from Dadaji and and the Devi Devtas to give the strength, that we also develop that circumstances and all. So that is what I understand, and you can please throw more light on this. And one more thing, which I understand, that if we put text on the speech, beside that, if we put text, then it is more helping, So like
put what?
Text. If we have
T-E-X-T.
Yeah, text. For example, if we have a video and we have subtitles, so or a speech, or in text, we have a text file or something like that. So more people can understand, especially Mahatmas can easily understand. They can take the now modern tools have come, like this Chat GPT and all. They are better translating. We just put the text and they translate in. For example, someone who knows Tamil, so they can say that this video the video I showed, that they can take a screenshot and ask this bots, that please extract the Gujarati and translate into whichever language most comfortable. So at least we are communication is understanding is improving, So that all those I found that it one step, my understanding that one step towards more Syadvad. So understanding others and is the first step, and accepting others is the second step. So and then we take care that we our actions and speech and thoughts are in tune with others, So that is what I found that these tools are developing, and that is why this is my experience also and my understanding. Please throw more light.
Pulinanandji, did you hear him?
I heard him. Question is, what is the question, or what is the answer, or what is the comment to be given?
Yeah. So before we were talking, So Deepakanandji, you can
okay.
Yeah.
Pulinanandji, first part, yes, said that it is the limitation of the speech wherein
that I understood. He has given 3 points. That speech has a limitations. You cannot express 2 viewpoints simultaneously. You express one viewpoint, then second viewpoint, third point. That is the limited speech for this. Then second thing he said that Tirthankara's speech is also that everybody understands in their language. Although he said Devi's help, that is not true. His speech is such that all those vibrations reach individual, whether it is a human being or animal, and they grasp the essence of what Tirthakara is wanting to say, where the language is not a barrier in the communication of his sermon. Whatever sermon or whatever the Satsang Tirthankara is doing, they're all living creatures who attend that samosa or his sermon. They understand it in their own respective languages. That is the quality of Tirthankara's speech. So that is one attribute of the speech where individual living creatures, animal or human being or Devi Devtas, they understand the sense.
So the Devi Devtas, they organize this, somewhat, right?
They organize the sermon, but they don't help in understanding the speech. You said they help in understanding the speech. They organize the sermon. They organize what is called Samvasaran. They organize his, where people come, sit,
So
and things like that.
they don't help in the, for example, the words in their own language.
No. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. They don't help in that. That is the attribute of the Tirthankar's speech per se. His speech per se has that attribute by which individual living creature understands the gist of what the Tirthankar is trying to say. You see, words and language are a medium to convey a thought or convey something. The fundamental principle of speech is, bhav. For us, in the case of, say, human beings, when I have an intent or a desire, come what may, I will not tolerate anybody's abuse. If someone gives me one bad word, I will give two bad words. Now, if that is the type of intent one has charged, so what happens is based on that, all those code words are charged, and then in the next verse, his speech will flow accordingly. That if someone says something wrong, then he will retaliate twice. So based on that intent, the output or the result comes. In the same way, Tirthankar has an intent that may my speech be such that it does not hurt any living creature to the slightest extent. It's not only speech, it's all actions, thought, everything. Those were the intent of the Tirthankars by which they did this thing. And the concept of speech is that I have an intent that I want to do this. Then the speech flows accordingly. So speech is a medium of expressing concept A from person A to person B. It's just a medium of expression of the intents from person A to person B. And a gross example of that Dada Bhagwan has said was that if you have two dumb people who cannot speak, if you have two dumb people and you see them talking to each other, they say so in their sign language with their hands, fingers, and things like that. So that's how they communicate what is in the mind of person A. It is communicated to the person B. So that is that it's a way of communication, sign language. Similarly, speech is a way of communication. So their Tirthankar codes are such that A, it does not hurt anybody. B, everybody understands the concept where language is not the barrier. It just flows. That is the attribute of Tirthankar speech. Among the many Ascharyas, they call it, special qualities or attributes. This is one
Atishay.
Atishay. This is one of them. His speech goes for n number of miles or kilometers. Then there's happiness all around. And there are many other things in this. But coming back to your own main question was that Tirthankar is this thing. So Devi Devas help in organizing the sermon. The quality of the speech of the Tirthankar is such that this Yadva, that is non-hurting, and each individual creature of any form understands it in his own language. And that was the second point you said.
The text, the text. The text has more special quality which speech doesn't have. That you can put in written more viewpoints, and the person can understand the whole, more understand the whole. And for example, now Deepakanandji is in Sikkim. Their language is different. But if from video, people, even Hindi, English, Gujarati person may not be knowing. But if it is in text form, which is copy pastable, so anyone can go. These modern tools are there, and they can put and translate in his or his language.
Understood. Basically, what you are saying is that all satsangs, wherever possible, also put a transcript at the bottom so that anybody can script and you making use of those tools. understand in his or her language. That is the essence of what you're trying to say.
Yeah, is there a good idea?
But you see, there is one thing. Okay, the suggestion is welcome. Suggestion is welcome. Let's see how far it is practical and all. But little that I know of, I think whenever I open any YouTube and all, there's a command where you can say that give me the transcript of what is being spoken over there. So YouTube also generates that, and maybe till something happens from our end, that can also be used by the individual. Where the script is generated by YouTube, and he takes screenshots and puts into some translator where he gets the same thing in his language. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
basically what we're trying to say. People in the language can also understand the same. So making use of the modern tools, think about it. That's
YouTube generated transcript is still under development. It is not fully understandable. But what I found is that if the at least the Gujarati is there, the transcript is there. So then the translation is not 100%. I wouldn't say it is 100% correct, but it has improved a lot since the time of Google Translate. It is much better. The AI translation is much better, I found, so this is my experience. So what is your viewpoint on that?
No, that is right. The suggestion is welcome. Let us see if it can be implemented.
Yeah.
The essence was that it should go to non the audience in their languages. That's the summary of what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Deepakanandji?
Yeah.
Yeah. One more thing. Shadwal, you cannot interpret by saying that it is available in different languages. Shadwal, the language itself doesn't convey. It is the state which conveys. Like Tirthankar Bhagwan, they never speak in a particular language. And still everyone understands in their language. They don't have any language. That is the state of perfection of Shadwal. And anybody wanting to understand, then they can make use of the AI tool, whatever is available, and find out. Else, they can contact us and ask in person. Because this work is not a simple work. The quantum of work is too much, just too much. And that is definitely not the criteria of Shadwal. You understand, Doctor?
Yeah, I understand, but for me, it is. I can only say for me. I don't know.
You can ask us anytime. Have I said no?
What I did recently, just this subtitle, which video I showed you. I just took the screenshot and I asked the AI that please extract the Gujarati and translate it into Hindi. So this is what I'm doing. So it is helping me. So that is what I can.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Jai Sachidanand.
Yes, Sachidanand.
Dr.
Google or ChatGPT. Whom do you ask to extract that, translate this?
Yeah, this two chatbots are there, Gemini, ChatGPT, so you just take a screenshot of the video.
Okay. I just wanted to know the name, Gemini and ChatGPT. Okay.
Dr. Lalita.
Jai Sachidanand. Talking about speech. Now, Dada's speech is pre-recorded, right? It's taped. It's taped speech, taped Vani that's coming out. That's why he has no Maliki Bhav to the speech. Correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so my question is, his dasha now is 356 degrees.
Dasha what?
His current dasha as a jnani is at 356 degrees, which is what Dada said. Right?
So what is that?
Dada says he's at, Tirthankars are complete Jnana Darshan and he's at 356.
Okay.
Okay, so my question is, all these all his Vani is taped, so the questions were also taped. The questioner who's asking is also taped Vani, right?
Correct.
So what was his dasha when all this was taped?
What is his dasha when?
When all this previous janma, when all this was taped, the speech was taped, the questions were taped. He's already at 356. Was he at 356 then, or this is the effect? 356. I mean, it's
I got
probably
it. Okay.
moot point, but it's just I'm trying to grasp.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Now you see, it's an indication that in the previous births he was at that reasonably enlightened. I would not in terms of degrees, but a reasonable enlightenment state, and that's where his understanding was very clear, and that's where it's all got saved, and it's only coming out now. So,
Okay.
when it was being taped, he was at an reasonably enlightened state.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever reasonable is only my word.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it may be.
Okay.
A very high, very high, very high order of enlightenment. Because only if you have that vision can you tape it. Na? Basically, his vision was that everybody understands Atma Gnan or understands self or achieves the self-realization. May all householders also achieve moksha without living the worldly life. May the science go in extremely simple language so that people of the Kali Yuga also understand easily the hardcore and difficult concepts given in the scriptures. So those were his global intentions, overall intentions. And those intentions then appropriately fructifies into code word and then it comes out as speech in this part. So he had that vision and this also intention of welfare of the human being. And that's how it fructifies into speech of this part. Basically, he has the whole vision.
Exactly, the caliber of the words that he brings out, the speech that comes out of it is just like, unheard of, not in any texts or anything like that. I mean, it's just mind blowing.
You see, you see, one of the thing is that we have a global intention when the speech is being judged. That time there's a global intention that is set. That in case, for example, in the case of Dada Bhagwan, he has said that may people understand in very lay terms, a common person can easily understand. Now that was his intention. Now then that detailing of the exact and simplified word that happens later on. It happens naturally. How I don't know, but it happens later on. And that's how words like file, relative viewpoint, real viewpoint, very easy to understand words then come out. His oral intention is that it should be like this. And then the detailing happens somewhere. It gives into a result into
then
a
all
very
the rest
simple.
fall into place. It's the bhav that counts.
And the bhav is oral. To give a very gross simile, not very pertinent, but just very gross. You have a seed of a banyan tree from man. Now the seed has all the elements of the tree in a very subtle form. Gradually, as watering takes place, as it gets sunlight, as the thing sprouts, then as the stem grows, as the branches grow, this thing goes. So, what type of fruit will evolve? What will be the type of leaves? What will be the height of this thing? All that is embedded in that, in a very small form. And then, as the sanjog or as circumstances permit, it fructifies and grows and things like that. So, something similar, all that is there. But the detailing happens externally on the circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the gross science that I've understood. What that detailing is still open, but this is the gross.
Right. I mean, just that this was pre-taped. I mean, it's just mind blowing.
Predetermined. It's mind.
Predetermined. Yes. Thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Sachidanand, as what Dada Bhagwan has said for himself, that he had known the criteria primarily by his very basic prayer. Through my mind, speech, and body, I don't want to hurt anybody. Probably based on this criteria, what he said, that every time he encountered or got into a conversation, then he said the people who were there, whom he was interacting, they were the listeners, they were the audience. And this tape was the speaker.
Correct.
And he, in his enlightened state, very closely observed every word that was spoken by him through his tape record, and he kept correcting every time it went out of Shadwa.
Okay.
And eventually what he has said, that it has turned out to be almost near to Tirthankara language, that is Shadwa. And that's where he fell short of 4 degrees.
Yes.
And what he has said, for you also in your enlightened state, that process has begun. For me, it is near its end.
Correct.
For Mahatmas, it has started, because now we are praying day in and day out. I don't want to hurt anyone through my mind, speech, body. My speech and my thinking and my dealing should be amicable, Shadwat. So it has started. But this was the process from his lives together, and probably in this life it went very close, and that's how he has reached this level of perfection.
Yes, because he said that, Tirthankar is Pune.
But this process, what he elaborated is fantastic, which is applicable to one and all.
He said he's Chaudas and the Tirthankar is Poonam. That's the difference between him and Tirthankar.
Come again?
That Dada is Chaudas, 14th.
Correct. So he is actually...
He's 360.
We are not able to understand the level of humility he has lived with us all.
Yes.
Do you
Absolutely.
know, in one of the conversation he has said, for you, I am Tirthankara here.
I believe it.
Nobody believes or don't believe is a secondary issue, but this is what he has said. And this is how we must, how do you say, follow him or worship him or surrender ourselves to him to get the maximum benefit. Okay?
Yes. Absolutely.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Thank you.
Okay, Meera.
There you go. Wait, let me see if I can. There I am. Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji Deepakanandji and all the Mahatmas. Thank you so much. So, from this concept of speech, what I am saying now, as in this Meera body is saying now, is tape recorded. But that bhav from before, we have collected over the thousands of janmas and such, said that Meera will be asking this question in this form to Deepakanandji and Pulinanandji. Am I understanding the concept of speech correctly? Or the tape recorded, or the what will come into that speech at that time?
Pulinanandji?
That will be, you see, it's at the gross level. It's at the gross level that I want to progress on the path of salvation, and wherever I come across difficulties, I will ask my difficulties to a spiritual guru. At that that intention and the detailing and words follow in this depending on what the doubt is and what the situation is and who the guru is and all. You have not recorded that I will ask person. I will ask, I will clarify my doubt. That is the intent. So that intent fructifies. The intent fructifies.
So now, please.
Actually, one mind-blowing thing came to my thing, some that speech only. That speech, one dimension to speech he has said that although it is pre-recorded for Mahatma, if we do Purusharth and our intention of birth also plays a role in the speech that is flowing out today. If Dada says, if everything was pre-recorded, then you have nothing to do. Just let it go.
Correct.
But that is not the case. It is a accumulation of scientific circumstantial evidences. That is the present speech that is coming out is accumulation of many circumstances. One of them being the intent code word. Basically, it's an intent. Now, intent that is today is based on the intent we generate in the previous. That I to be like this. So that is how the codes are set up and the speech would flow. Today in my land state, I have become separate from the body set. My vision is different. That may not hurt anybody by mind speed. That's good intent. So Dada says, even today's intent plays a part in the speech that's going out today for Mahatma. By Purusharth, we can to a large extent make it, in a dhili kari sake or reduce the intensity of what we have charged in case it's the hum category. So, Dada says, intent plays a part. Intent could be of even 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 1 hour, 4 hours. So, the past intent is the charge of the speech, and today's intent also plays a part. And the combination of the two intents will result in the type of speech that is going on for Mahatma. Because now we have separated and our intent today has become separate.
Okay.
So it's mind blowing. So we cannot say my speech is pre-recorded. Maybe it's hurting. Maybe it's like that. That level is not. That is for the person who is not enlightened. He who is in that belief system. I am the name bearer. I am Pulinanandji. For a person, non-mark. So for him, if he is in the body self, I am the name bearer. Then the name bearer, whatever he has charged, pre-recorded, that will play out and then he will say, I have spoken. For him, that is okay. But today we are separate from the body. So today's intention also has a weightage. Today also has a weightage, and it is a combination of two which will work. And more than that, Dada is given, and I think reasonable 3, 4 or maybe 5 tips how as much we can improve our speech or take it towards the other. And there are 3, 4 things that have come in the calendar also in the previous.
Yes.
One of them is for Sadhva. One thing is do Nidhi Dhyasan of Dada Bhagwan at the throat. Then 3, 4 things are there. So Dada said that if you put this mechanism or if you set this mechanism before and then I don't want to hurt anybody. So then speech will flow accordingly. He has given practical tips so much. And our continuous intention not to hurt, then will generate that. As you generate that, someone asks, how will my speech become as sweet as yours? So that's it. You put the intention that I want to have a nice, smooth or a nice, sweet, non-hurting speech. So then you lay the causes, the effect will follow.
So, okay.
Something very, something worth putting our mind to. And we have a scope of improving the speech also, although it is recorded.
Okay. So the intent. Okay. So Jai Sachidan Pulinanandji, the reason I'm asking is because
one more thing before I forget. I'm sorry.
No. Please.
You see, this is the intent, but this intent, and there's one more dimension, is my understanding. If my understanding of things change, my speech, and in not only speech, then thought came to me that even my behaviors also change accordingly. If I say this man he's wonky, he doesn't talk, understand, what a person, then that will be my behavior or my speech. But then if someone comes and no, he's a mentally handicapped person, then automatically my understanding changes. Then automatically my behavior and thought will change. So today's understanding and today's intent are two important criteria which help us in going to Syadvad Vani and Syadvad Varta. Manan though you can't change because that is pure Syadvad. Those are Parmanus that exhaust. But you can keep a watch on the but to accept or not accept, Tanmaya to be engrossed or not to get engrossed is our Purusha. And the corrective action of Syadvad is a thought comes to me, that is the idiot, now I will show him a piece of. If the thought comes to me, if I'm aware, then I will say, no, why you want to do Syadvad? So inside only a thought will come, inside only the corrective action will take. And that is Syadvad Man. That is Syadvad. But Vani and Varta, in fact, one word Dada Bhagwan has used is Vani, a discharge, no discharge. It is a discharge of discharge. Man, as a thought, is pure discharge. So discharge, as I understand, is, it's interplay of two intents. One discharge is the previous intent and today's intent is second. And then a combination of that comes. So this, as one does this, this bhavana or a desire to have Syadvad Vani Vartaman, as one desires more and more about the kalamas, asking strength. So then he gets the insights of how to achieve that state. And this satsang of Dada Bhagwan is one of them. Then my understanding so gradually evolved. As it has evolved for me, it evolved for everyone.
Okay. Good. Jai Satchidananda Pulinanandji. So my question also is, in the Akram Marg, we are this akramic path, we have Dada's knowledge. In the karmic path, this path, we say, before we go someplace, Saraswati Maya, please help me speak properly. Ganpati Bhagwan, please let me not say this. Like we pray to like Ganpati, we pray to Saraswati, we pray to all the gods and goddesses that we know to help us in that speech. So that is the karmic path. The Akram path is that we know that Shuddhatma, we're watching. This speech is tape recorded. The intent and the bhav is there. So we need to watch each step of the way, always knowing that we are Shuddhatma and always knowing that what we are speaking, what this Meera body is speaking, and knowing that Pulinanandji is also Shuddhatma and he is in that body, that knowledge is coming. Okay, so that is how we would say in Akram path rather than karmic path, where we say, Bhagwan, please come and sit on my throat. Yes? No. That is what I'm asking.
Throat Dada is given us. Concept of throat that is given us for us to do that Purusha. Essentially, we are focusing our awareness on the throat, means on the speech. The means of focusing our awareness on the spoken. What you all said is that is a general state for all matters. That we have to be on a constant vigil of what file number 1 is speaking, doing, or thinking. That is to have a constant state of self or awareness. To keep a watch on file number 1. That is the way Parmanus will get exhausted. That is the separate. And speech is, even we can do it. What you said for a Mahatma, Devi, Bhagwan, he asks for a good speech. Now, in the karmic, he is setting that intention. He is trying to increase the awareness to which will result in the coding of such speech for the next birth.
Correct. Okay.
But also, it will increase his awareness, and in case this is going against his intention of being non-hurting, he will immediately stop in his tracks and come back.
Yes.
So for the karmic mark, also that works, and also for us also. By asking for strength, essentially we are focusing and today's understanding and today's intention. So it helps. It is useful for both. There maybe it comes as a charge, which will then result in a discharge in the next. For us, it help, right? And just one very briefly, you see, this work, today's intention. A very simple example that just to my mind was that supposing I'm driving up, and I've done some policeman has now. I may be a very strong-headed person. I don't take things lying down, give my peace of mind, anything. I'm a hot-headed person. Just say hot. That is my temperament. But when policemen come, automatically I cannot be aggressive in front of it. How has that manifested? How have I worked against my temperament? Because a new understanding, this understanding is of with this person, I cannot be my normal. So today's intention or today's understanding works even for a non-Mahatma. Even
yes.
provided he has the right intention,
yes.
the right understanding. So this core concept is very wonderful to ponder and think, and it helps us in our putra go towards Sadhavad Vani Vartaman.
Jai Sachidanand.
I think
thank you so much.
Sachidanand, one clarification. These words are not taped as we are spoken. It gets spoken out based on the circumstances today, but the intentions are recorded. Secondly, whether Dada has revealed the science of speech, and it says for everyone, irrespective of Mahatma or non-Mahatma, karmic or non-karmic, it is second discharge. Discharge. So if your bhav changes today, if your intent changes today, the speech changes. And what Dada used his vigilance to focus on his speech is because that is the most important aspect of our being, that words create the world. So if we have taken care of the word, then we take care of the world. And in relation to amicable settlement, our purpose and those things, they play a vital role on our speech. So point number one, it is discharge, second discharge, applicable to one and all. And if your how intent changes today, it changes. And that's how Dada gradually kept correcting his speech, and it has changed. Whereas the mind and the body aspect is total discharge. Jai Sachidanand. Thanks for coming.
That was excellent. I just want to say, Dada always said, bhav karo. That is like, really, there's a punch in that word, bhav karo.
Right. Absolutely. Bhav means actually we are in swabhav, in our self-realized state. And in that self-realized state, we are correcting. So it is actually bhav related to bhav karma, but bhav here for us is our desire. Correct? Jai Sachidanand, thanks for coming.
It is not bhav. Dada say bhavna karo. That is reinforcing today's intent.
Reinforcing.
ભાવના કરો કે મારે આજ્ઞા પાડવી છે, ભાવના કરો કે મારે આ કરવું છે.
Correct. He never said go and do it. It was always, this was the driving force.
Nurture the desire. Nurture the intent.
Jai Sachidanand. Pulinanandji, do 3 mantras, we'll follow.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Varihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Savva Samunam.
Namo Loe Savva Samunam.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
Sarva Bhava Panasano.
Sarva Bhava Panasano.
Manglanancha Subesim.
Manglanancha Subesim.
Padmam Havi Mangalam.
Padmam Havi Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Thanks for coming. See you next week.